Queridos televidentes de Fruta Extraña Televisión, bienvenidos nuevamente a nuestro show fenomenal, grandioso, que ustedes siempre tienen ese privilegio de regalarnos parte de su tiempo para poder estar en sus hogares. Para esta noche tenemos algo muy especial, un tributo es fenomenal para una persona reconocida. Bueno, ustedes van a tener el privilegio y el honor de conocerla en unos segundos porque está aquí presente, y la verdad que yo no tengo palabras como cómo nombrarla, cómo mencionarla, porque hay mucho de qué hablar. Enseguida yo regreso y ustedes la conocerán en unos segundos.
I live in Puerto Rico, and I chose to live where I live because I figured if you fight for your nation, you have to live in the land that you fight for. But I grew up in Lincoln Hospital, and I was raised really in El Barrio, but all my family lived in the Bronx, so I know the Bronx like my hands, and feet, and my body and spirit. But it's interesting who's here tonight. There's always another person there, the man that walks around. The only elected official I really totally respect was Jose Rivera. I've had a wonderful life, I really have. I've had a life filled with wonderful friends, a good education, but the one thing that makes me who I am is my badass mother and father.
That's right. Say it, say it!
I have a mother that, honey, we were just doing the march, and Jose Rivera was with us in Puerto Rico against the FBI attacks on our people. And Helena Valentin, one of our Puerto Rican leaders, was there. We were having lunch after the march. And he looked at me, he said, "Coño, esa la tuya." And my mother was something else. My mother always told me, "You're the only female in the family." I was an only child. I have a half-brother who passed in 2001. He was an incredible Puerto Rican painter. But I was raised as an only child. Since you're the only female, you have 7 cousins. So if they mess with you, you kick their asses, okay? And I've always known, my mother told me, you'll never be a secretary to anyone. You will never be anybody's assistant. And even in prison, I remember one of the units, when you're in jail, you're in a unit where you live, and there's a person who's the head of that unit. And they actually moved me, in 1982, they moved me. In a year and 7 months, in a year and 4 months, I was in 7 different jails throughout the United States, and in 20 different holding places. So I saw myself as the ambassador of the FALN of Puerto Rican Activist. Lisa Lebron was, at the most of her time, the unit manager told me, "Hey, Mr. Gunn, come here." And I said, "Yeah, what is it?" What's his name? Harvey. He said, "I want you to be my secretary." And I said, "Brother dear, let me tell you something. I have always had a secretary. I can clean floors, I can clean toilets, and that I do for my nation. But for you, I will never be your secretary." It's important for us to honor who we are as people, because I think life in the ghetto is not. I hate the story that everybody has the story, and I grew up in the ghetto. The truth doesn't matter. I've been on television since I was 5 years old, and all those white kids never had the life we had. And I think we have to honor our communities, the work that we do, and honor ourselves and maintain this circle of friendship that we have. Because if you don't have that, you don't have anything. I walked in this door, in walks his sister. She looked at me, "Did you remember me?" I said, "Dylcia." I said, "Who are you?" She said, "Olga. We went to high school together, right, Mom?" Oh, yeah. And the brother driving. And I said, and he told me, "You don't look, where you going?" And I was explaining what was happening. "Really? Are you important?" I said, "I'm important to my people." Making a long story short. And he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm Puerto Rican, but I live in Puerto Rico." He explains it, And I said, "And where are you from?" He says, "I'm Egyptian." And I said, "Really?" I said, "I have a friend of mine." He goes, "Really?" He's Puerto Rican and Egyptian. He goes, "Puerto Rican and Egyptian? How could he be?" Puerto Rican and Egyptian. I knew him when I lived in Boston doing the show. He looked at me. I walk in the store, who's standing there? My Puerto Rican Activist friend. Don't you remember, Michael? Because I did the show, and then it was really hard. Because, you know, as a kid, I chose to do the auditions in the ghettos, and we did it. I casted the show with children from here and children from Boston. But then we had to stay at the Ramada Inn. And I remember Michael used to say, who will believe this shit? It was the Ramada Inn kids. So then I had a triplex in Boston, so I used to bring all the kids to my house.
Yeah.
And then we all used to stand.
Yeah.
So I said, you said, that's Michael. It's been a blessing having, I think the universe brings us all together for certain reasons. I think my role in life has always been for the freedom of my country, even though I was a television producer, and I still continue to do work in the arts.
Yeah,
Five national Puerto Rican women, because I really feel that if I am to contribute who I am, one of the things that is necessary is that we have quality images of our histories, of our heroines. And most of our kids don't know who our heroines are, so we're going to begin to do that. It's an expensive task. I've been working on it for 2.5 years. But I have the determination that it will be finished by the end of the year, hopefully. I'm working on my book. Hopefully, I'm going to meet with my agent sometime this week and I got to fly back from Puerto Rico. And now I can fly back without asking for permission. I can tell you, sometimes he would say, okay, you're going to talk, you're going to do this. We planned all these trips for me to talk, and I had to put like letters, invitations. And then they called, I said the day before, well, you can go, but we'll cut back your trip. You can't stay 22 days. You only stay 15 or 10 days. So that it's been a struggle, but now most of us are all in freedom. And there are two people that still remain. You saw the brothers, you saw the sister. The reason Aide is not part of the campaign, and I have to make it really clear, it's not that we don't love her, we definitely love her, and we respect her. But in 1990, Aide chose to move herself from the movement, so that when our campaign was launched for our release, she asked to be pulled out of the campaign. This was the problem of coming here in the winter. But she's still my sister, but the campaign now is being focused around Carlos Alberto Torres. Carlos Alberto Torres, presente! And with all the enthusiasm all of you participated in our release, I ask everyone in this room to continue forward. September 22nd, the exhibit of the prisoners, of the two prisoners, is coming to New York City. The opening will be at the Woolgo Center, and everybody will be invited. Oh, I expect everybody there, but then we're going to have like a fundraiser. Because to do art is not easy.
That's right.
And it's expensive. And believe you me, the feds don't give you art, okay? They don't give you art material.
Not to us.
So that Carlos does ceramics and painting, and Oscar does paintings. And we just met the other day to plan the whole event, and someone came and said, this is going to be a big event. I said, no, it's going to be an extravaganza. Yeah. They merit that, and so do all of you to see their work, and it's incredible. Now, I developed my art. I had theater in prison. I do ceramics. I do all that stuff. But it's different when you've done it before, and you just do it because you use it to utilize time, because you need to maintain your sanity. But when you see someone who's a different person and creates this incredible art, and when you see the exhibit, you will see that is art of liberation, because the art always provides us another escape. It gives us an opportunity to be whatever we want to be, to speak whoever we want to speak to, and to create images that come from the most profound part of our beings. And when you're inside, the part of living in prison is that they think they control you, but they never controlled me. That's right, you know? Institution generalization because everyone that's in prison didn't go in with the same principles I did and my compañeros and compañeras too. And people forget they are new African political prisoners still in U.S. prisons. Folks, let's not forget it. There's North American political prisoners. Judy Clark, Marilyn Buck are still inside, 2 white sisters that fought for the freedom of Puerto Rico, but mostly for Africa and the black movement. And I think that's why I said I want to do this piece. There's so many things I want to do. I mean, I have abundance of talent, but what I need is money, you know, and it's not easy to get it, but it'll come eventually, you know. If I did it before, we'll do it again. Yeah. Right now, the situation of Puerto Rico is at a very different, it's at a very difficult moment. Very, very difficult. On September 23rd, the FBI assassinated our Comandante Feriberto Ojeda Rios, and that was an intentional attack by the United States government. 3 weeks ago, they went into people's 6 houses, and they bombarded the houses. Then, check this out, the FBI sprayed, what do they call that stuff? Pepper spray the Puerto Rican journalists. I guess they think that we don't care for our nation. Contrary, Feliberto's funeral was the most incredible sight to witness. Every block, every street, it took us 5.5 hours from San Juan to his burial place. Every street corner was, all the kids in school were in their yards, the Puerto Rican flag signs, FBI assassins, old ladies, old men standing like this, hands in their hearts. Via Puerto Rico libre, Feliberto vive. And if the FBI or the federal government thinks that by assassinating Feliberto Ojeda, they have stopped the independence movement, they are definitely wrong. I've said it, Feliberto Ojeda is our Che Guevara of today, because we fought, Tito Velázquez was against Spanish colonialism, and they assassinated him the day of Tito Velázquez, so from this day forward, Tito Velázquez will represent against U.S. imperialism, colonialism of Puerto Rico. And right now there's this big crisis. A big crisis, bullshit. They're every day arresting young people, assassinating people, which they've continuously done. They have their MO and we have our MO. Now, all of a sudden, the status of Puerto Rico report comes again. Sit back, take a minute. Every time there's a crisis in Puerto Rico, what does the government do? They bring up the question of the status of Puerto Rico. The U.S. Congress has nothing to do with our status of our nation. We will determine when our nation will be free. We will see what happens. But the truth of the matter is that becomes a smoke screen so that they can go in. 2 weeks ago, I'm here 3 weeks, Sam? 3 weeks now. Just 2 days before I arrived to New York City, they arrested 4 young men, students in Aguadilla, because they attempted 3 weeks before them to arrest 8 of them who were painting a mural. And what happened was the local police, that I call the gandulas, because they wear the brown suits, like the gandulas that we they came, arrested the brothers, and pulled them in, escorted them to an FBI headquarters. Then they had to wait for Homeland Security forces to come, in the oldest colony in the world. And then the young people called, the lawyers, the battery of attorneys appeared, and they wanted to know what was happening. And they said the reason why they brought them to the FBI facility, was that they were going to paint the mural in a Homeland facility? Homeland Security building. So the young people said, how do we know that this belongs to Homeland Security? Well, you guys own all of Puerto Rico? Bullshit. But just before I came, they arrested 4 because they had paint in their hands. And the repression will continue. It will continue here, and it will continue there. Unfortunately, we have, the media puts a blackout. Because I know for a fact, when Feliberto was assassinated, I immediately called Jose Rivera. I called all the networks, and it didn't take till 3 days for the networks to cover his assassination. And they always do that. So I think it's very important that we all keep abreast with each other in what's happening. And we need to create this unity amongst ourselves. You know? We live in different times. I did 20 years. This is the South Bronx, just like El Barrio. When I grew up in Barrio, it was black, Puerto Rican, Italian, and now it's a lot. There's some Puerto Ricans, there's not a lot of Mexicans, there's more Dominicans, but we're all oppressed people. So let's not call the bullshit off, and let's just work together as people of color.
Queridos televidentes, como les prometí, tenemos aquí a nuestra anfitriona de esta noche. Déjenme mencionarles que es el cierre del festival para este año, para Woman, como se le llama. Y pues, de qué mejor manera hacerlo que haciéndole un tributo a una persona tan fenomenal, como yo lo dije fuera de cámaras, una persona digna de mencionar, digna de alabar, digna de halagar. Hay tanto por hacer y por decir para usted. Bienvenida a Protestaña Televisión. Este es un programa que tenemos aquí en el Bronx, ya tenemos cobertura en Queens y en Manhattan también. Y qué mejor manera de expresar los sentimientos que salen a flor de piel esta noche. Nos gustaría que nos dijera cómo se siente o cómo se ha sentido al llegar a este teatro y ser parte de este tributo.
Ha sido una noche muy divina. Cuando yo primero visité a Nueva York después de la cárcel, tuvimos una actividad aquí, pero esta noche fue como más divino porque había otra conglomeración de gente, además que era dedicado a mujeres, y me encanta el título Badass Women. Ustedes saben en español lo que es Badass Women,
por supuesto, ¿no? Que ya están acostumbrados.
Ellos tienen que saber. Y me encantó ver el entrecambio entre los jóvenes. Yo amo el trabajo de Jasmine. Creo que tiene un talento maravilloso. Sí. Y además, no solamente, yo creo que en estos momentos históricos, para toda persona que quiera libertad de su patria, el arte tiene que ser activista, no solamente pintor. Nosotros no tenemos esa clase de licencia.
Exactamente.
Poder. El arte tiene que tener un mensaje, tiene que ser y llevar esa forma, esa convicción de activismo. Esa presentación que hizo Jasmine fue divina. Porque muchas de las jóvenes no saben quién son las divas latinas.
Exacto.
Sí,
y ella las plasmó en esas. Fue algo preciosísimo.
Fue muy bello. Entonces el honor que me dieron, bueno, que no hay palabras para poder expresar.
Estamos casi todos de la misma manera.
Sí, sí.
Sabemos de que cuenta con poco tiempo y hay tantas personas que pues quieren saludarla, desearle mucho éxito, darle un abrazo, recibir esa energía positiva que usted siempre irradia, recibir ese beso maravilloso que le da todo en la nariz, que yo no me voy a perder esta noche a uno, y decirle, nos sentimos orgullosas de tener una mujer como usted, una madre, una mujer, es todo. Y yo creo que le podemos llamar diosa porque es una diosa viva. En nombre de Giovanna, de nuestro programa y de nuestra teleaudiencia, millón de gracias por estar aquí esta noche con nosotros, por regalarnos parte de su tiempo, gracias, por ser tan linda persona. Si quiere darle un mensaje a nuestra audiencia,
¿cómo no?
La cámara es toda suya.
Bueno, al pueblo que está escuchando, creo que digan gracias por este homenaje. Segundo es que tienen que estar conscientes que Puerto Rico todavía es una colonia de Estados Unidos, y que quedan 2 presos políticos en la cárcel estadounidense. Vamos a tener una actividad el 22 de septiembre en Nueva York, una exposición. Espero que ustedes vengan a la exposición, será en Julia de Burgos, y en el futuro vamos a hacer más anuncios, yo estaré aquí. Así es que la patria es valor y sacrificio, Puerto Rico será libre y soberano. Gracias.
Amable. Que Dios lo decida y...
Gracias. Y el de tu nariz.
Que Dios me la bendiga. Para que ustedes se den cuenta, tengo la prueba en mi cara. Muchísimas gracias por ser como es. Y ustedes, por favor, no se manden sus asientos, que yo regreso unos instantes.
Qué chévere.
Ay, qué linda.